I mean, it just shows the hypocrisy in politics. So one person can say something 5 years ago, and next thing you know, it doesn't apply to them anymore, and that they can now be the morality police for whoever is in charge now.
What it do, what it do, what it do. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Run the Receipts. I am your host, Mr. Receipts. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. Today we got a good one. We are going to talk about students say Obama immigration quote is racist when they think it's from Trump. And this is coming from Campus Reform. I'm really starting to question what is going on in the education system in these colleges or whatnot, because you have your we all go to school from kindergarten up to the 12th grade, but then afterwards we haven't lived life yet. So you expect to send your kids off to college to learn how to function in life. You're paying 30, 40, 50, $100,000 to send your children off to get an education. The education that comes with is supposed to help you how to function in life. How to understand and know about the borders, to understand how the politics work, to understand how housing works. Your children go to school and there's business degrees, there's engineering degrees, there's so many things that they can learn. You would think that these also would be implemented into their lives, because this is your everyday function in life, is to know and to understand these things. And I say that because whenever you ask these young men and young women just your basic everyday life things that actually matter, especially when it comes to politics and what's going on in America, none of them can really give you an answer and tell you and understand what's going on. So we're going to take a look at this video, and then we're going to make some comments on it. And then I also want you, ladies and gentlemen, to comment, like, and subscribe at the bottom. Share it with your family. And let's take a look at what's going on.
I'm Captain Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're going to be asking students for their opinion on the policy of deporting people that are illegally here and have broken the law. We're going to be reading them a quote in support of that policy, but what they don't know is the quote is actually President Obama's from 2014. Will that change their opinion? Let's find out. Donald Trump announced this past week that he would be urging ICE and other administration authorities to seek out people living here illegally that have broken the law, to deport them. So I have a quote for you here that's been making the rounds on social media about the deportation of criminal illegal aliens. "We are a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our laws, and I believe they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%, and we're going to keep focusing on threats to our security." What's your thought on that quote and that policy in general?
I think that policy comes from a place of white American nationalism. Donald Trump has.
So she says that you deporting illegal aliens, especially those who have committed a crime, if you deport them, then she views that as coming from white American nationalism. Hey, that's wild to me, because she could call that white nationalism all she wants, but I agree with that too. And I'm not a white man. I totally agree that if you have illegals over here, especially those who commit crimes, that they should be deported. Because my care is for those Americans who are here. It's already bad enough that we have crime, within this country already, but to add millions and millions and millions of illegals, and it's not just the ones that want to do right, but you also have the ones that they release from prisons and, they got gangs or whatnot. The ones who are unproductive, other countries are telling them to go up north and come through the border and go to America. So it's not coming from a place of white American nationalism. It's coming from a place of the government wants us to be safe. Well, it used to think like that, but we know a whole lot, better now. But, as we continue to listen to this video, you're going to see that it wasn't a white man who said this anyway. But let's continue.
place of like white American nationalism.
Donald Trump has kind of like embraced this rhetoric of like racism and xenophobia that is not beneficial to our country at all.
I don't think.
And that's crazy to me how everything is always racism and xenophobia. Newsflash, the people that come across the border, yeah, they're not from America and they're not Americans, but it doesn't make any sense because how can you be xenophobia when America is a melting pot? Well, we have black, white, Asians, Hispanics, East Indians, Africans, so on and so forth. So when they be like, man, you xenophobia, and it's like, no, man, I'm not. Like myself, I grew up around the military base, and we had people from all over the world, from all different walks of life. Because, you know, a man in the military, he would go to, let's say, Guam, find him a wife there, and then marry her, come back to America, and they have children, and there you go. You know, Philippines, Japan, so on and so forth. And I guarantee those same people will be like, nah, I don't want somebody just coming across the border and doing it illegally, and then it affects America and, you know, the influence of America. And because it's going to cost us as the people. They would look at that same person whose wife is Japanese or Filipino or Guamanian or African or whatever, and they'll look at that same person and say, yeah, you're racist and you're xenophobia. Get the heck out of here with that. I'm telling you, boy, they just be saying anything and not understanding really what the heck they really saying. Makes no sense. Let's continue.
To our country at all.
I don't think that quote really stands true.
This administration has totally not done anything moral.
This is really awful.
So she says this country hasn't done anything moral. It is moral to say, you know what? For the protection of the American people that are here, the best thing that we need to do is deport all the illegals, especially the ones who have committed a crime, because my moral obligation are to the people who live here, who look at me and depend on me to make sure that they're safe. That is my moral obligation. So when she says that, hey man, we need to take somebody like her, load her up in a U-Haul and then send her like right at the border, whatever the bordering cities are of Mexico, and let her stay down there and see if she'll still have that same ideology. You're in college. Like you're oblivious to everything, obviously, to where you don't really understand what you're saying, because when you say the administration has totally not done anything moral, that's why you're safely here being able to say that, because they looking out for you morally. Let's continue.
Anything moral.
This is really awful.
Amnesty does not necessarily mean that we're losing border security. I think that Trump feels that way.
I think that's a bad decision, because like the United States should be open to like immigrants. Like it's like they call it land of the free for a reason.
We just have to add.
Hold on, stop. I keep telling y'all, man, it gets on my nerves when, and no offense, it is what it is. Some people gonna get offended and some not, but it is what it is. It drives me crazy when you have somebody who's obviously not from here, because you can hear it in his accent, when they try to say, yeah, everybody come on over to America. It's the land of the free. So when you get over here, don't worry about it. The government's going to take care of everything. You have nothing to worry about. They don't care how that's going to impact the people who are actually from here as a whole. They don't care about that. All they're going to do is tell the people to come over here, and then the government will take care of it from there. That's not his worry. And it drives me crazy when these people that come here, instead of just living out the dream that you were able to create, and I don't know how, obviously I don't know how he was able to do it, but he came over here and he created something from himself, for himself. It seems like he came over here the right way, and he's helping to not be a burden to society. But when you just open the floodgates, and then you're gonna have a lot of people that's just running up here for opportunity, and they're doing it illegally, somebody has to house them. Somebody has to feed them. If they have children, somebody has to take care of their children. The medical needs need to get taken care of. If the children need to go to school, we're gonna have to supply the kids with clothes and, you know, whatever utensils that they're gonna need. That has to come from somewhere. So it drives me crazy when people that are not from here have this kind of say so, but it's without the regard of how it's going to be taken care of. They don't care about that. All they understand is America is the land of the free and land of opportunity, and shoot, everybody else just come take advantage of it. But I can't go to Mexico and do the same thing. There's no way that I would be able to do that. The worst thing that we have, like, for example, if you go to Mexico, if I go there, the worst thing that we'll do, and I'm not saying that this is a good thing, but it's still the exact opposite of what happens here. If I go to Mexico and I go to a neighborhood, and because I'm American, the landlord, will raise the price up of a house. So if, let's say, it was originally like $500-$600 to rent there, now I'm paying $1,000 or $1,200, which in turn will jack up the prices in the neighborhood because, usually we have an area where all the expats live. So everyone in that neighborhood are now expats, and, it causes the property to go up. But we're still contributing. Like, that's still coming out of our pockets. It's not coming from the government. It's not coming from your system. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, because inflation is bad, because the people who live there, obviously, they're not making the same amount of money that we are. But we're still not making a negative impact in the sense of it's costing the whole country. Like, you're funding me being there. I'm actually contributing to your country. So it's still not the same. If I go to Mexico and I contribute, it's coming from my own pockets. If you come here, based on running across the border, then I'm contributing to you. You're not contributing to what we got going on. I'm still paying for you. So it makes absolutely no sense when they say goofy stuff like that. Let's continue.
Call it land of the free for a reason.
We just have to advocate for those kinds of people, and people like in Congress, like Ocasio-Cortez, who is helping people overcome these kinds of things.
Crimes do not nullify your humanity, and people are coming here in search of opportunity.
And that's not true, because if someone comes over here and they commit murder, the victim and the victim's family are not going to look at this person as a human being. This person would be looked at as an animal. They will be thrown in cages like an animal, and they will be treated like an animal. So in some aspects, because the subject matter was about those who were committing crimes. So if they come over here and they commit crimes, they're going to be looked at a little bit different than someone that's just coming over here looking for an opportunity. So you can't make that a blatant statement. Let's continue.
Show you the person that said that quote. Is that surprising?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why is that surprising?
Because I thought it was the Trump administration that said something like that.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. I thought it was from Trump.
I didn't expect it to be Obama either.
Why did you not expect it to be Obama?
Because I guess, I don't know. Like, it never occurred to me that it could be Obama.
Is that surprising that it's a quote from President Obama?
Yeah, that is surprising for sure. Yeah.
Do you think it's still a practice of white nationalism, though, to deport criminal illegal aliens?
I think the way Trump's doing it is.
Listen to that. She didn't even know Obama made that quote. So instead of her saying, oh, you know what? I didn't even know he said that. So let me apologize because, shoot, I thought that was Trump that said that. She's going to dig in even more deeper, and then she's going to say that the way Trump is doing it is wrong. But you don't even know how Trump is doing it, no more than you didn't know how Obama was doing it, or that Obama made the statement and was doing that at all. You didn't know any of that. And then again, listening skills is terrible, because the gentleman said it again. He talked about criminals, getting rid of criminals. So why are you so pressed about criminals that are coming over here to rob, to steal, to kill, to do whatever type of harm? Why are you that concerned that you're more mad at Trump that's saying I'm going to get rid of them than you are at the criminals that are committing crime and trying to take away your livelihood? It makes absolutely no sense. Makes no sense. Let's continue.
Okay. President Obama, to this point in Trump's presidency, Obama actually deported more people, though. So it's, in practice, it was more from Obama, though.
What's your question?
I'd say my understanding of Obama versus Trump is that Obama was more liberal as far as amnesty and border security. I expected that quote to come from Trump.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the hypocrisy in politics. So one person can say something 5 years ago, and next thing you know, it doesn't apply to them anymore, and that they can now be the morality police for whoever is in charge now.
And the other part of that is the hypocrisy is, so I don't like Trump, even though he didn't say it, but Obama's cool with me because he's woke and liberal just like I am. Because remember, the other gentleman talked about he thought that Obama was a little bit more liberal. So that's the hypocrisy. So Trump is not doing anything that Obama didn't do, but yet y'all charge Trump with actually doing it. And you may not have liked how he said it, but you didn't even pay attention that Obama was doing it. And then when he didn't tell you that it was from Obama, you still equated that to Trump. But now you find out it's Obama. You wasn't outraged. You wasn't mad at all. But it still, became about Trump. That's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy that we live in. That's why I say, man, a lot of this stuff, it be the fake angry, the fake outrage, the fake drama. Like, none of this stuff is real to me. And a lot of this stems from, social media and the news outlets. Because, anytime you don't like somebody or, you want someone else to win, you'll say anything. Me and my brothers talk about that all the time. It's like, people don't even fact check if Trump really said something at all. And I'm referencing this in politics because this is what the video is about. So I'm trying to keep it on that. But I'm like, people really don't even look into what he actually said, or people don't even look into what he's actually done, because social media and the news stations have done a good job of just making you sheep, and just whatever they put out there, there's no need for me to do no research, because if they said it, it must be true. So then now when you get a camera in your face and somebody asks you something, you have no idea what you're talking about, and it makes you look crazy. But that's a lot of the students today. And like I said initially, what are they learning? What skills are they learning to be able to help them to be productive in society, other than just being emotional and it's just being tied to whatever lies are being spewed out there? They're not learning anything, and they're paying, like I said, 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000 to go to school. And when they get out of school, they haven't learned anything. And then what's going to end up happening is they're just going to be dependent on the government, because at one point in time, or in some time, there's going to be where money's going to be obsolete. I'm telling you, money and all those things are going to be obsolete. And then you're just going to have to depend on the government to give you whatever, because they've already started the brainwashing, and we too stupid to realize what's going on. And we too stupid to realize that the schools ain't teaching us anything, where we gonna become dependents. And then they're gonna tell us when to eat, what to eat. They're gonna ration out everything. It's gonna come to that point in time, all because we never paid attention to what's really going on in society, what this system is really doing. And it's dumbing the children down. Those who are coming behind us, they're dumbing them down to make them dependents. Let's continue.
Or whoever is in charge now.
Does that change your opinion of the practice to know that President Obama did the same thing? Actually, to this point in his presidency, deported more people than President Trump had at this point.
No, again, I just think that there's a moral way to do it. And I don't know a ton about Obama's deportation policies, but I imagine that they were a lot more humane than the ones currently going on.
Oh.
So she said it didn't change her mind, even though she has no clue on Obama's policies. That doesn't make any sense, because I'm sure she doesn't know either one of their policies, but they'll just dig in deep. And what can you do morally for millions and millions of people? And let's say 20% of them are criminals, what can you do morally? Like, what exactly do you want them to do morally? But anyway, let me know what you ladies and gentlemen think down in the comment section. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share this with your family members. And until next time, deuces.